Hello and welcome to Cole Red Plays Raid Shadow Legends. I am Cole Red. Thank you for joining me. Today is Friday and the portal is glowing purple and we have a 2x Void Shard event going on all weekend. Now, as a free-to-play player, this is my favorite shard event in the entire game, so I'm going to be pulling all of my Void Shards in today's video. But before we get to that, we have a few other items on the agenda. We have a new Void Legendary to review. We have a few tactical tweaks we want to talk about for those of you still going for the Incarnate Fusion. And then we also have a new promo code. So we got something for everybody. I hope you're ready for it. Let's get started. Just a quick request, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and consider joining our Discord community. Also, feel free to join us Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That is our Takeover Tuesday live stream where I give away free account takeovers to members of my Discord community. Thanks so much for all the support. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, so let's start with the promo code today. Get that out of the way for those of you who aren't interested in the rest of what's going on. But we have a new promo code. It's our third or fourth promo code this month already. Summer Tavern. Let's see what we get. Energy, Bruise, and Silver, all things to help us for this fusion or potentially if I guess it's only 6 days. Got 6 days, so it's not going to help you with a fusion in the future, but maybe you can do a tournament or grind some Minotaur if you're not doing the fusion event. Speaking of the fusion event, there is a champion chase tournament going on right now. So for those of you who are in the fusion event, you're still in the hunt for the Incarnate, you want to consider this champion chase tournament pretty carefully. Remember that you can use the fragments for Slixus here to get more points in the champion chase. So if you have 2 copies of Slixus already, which you should have if you are trying to complete the fusion, you can actually get 700 points from those Slixus copies to help you get these fragments here. Now, in addition, if you complete a 3rd copy of Slixus with these 25 fragments, you want to go ahead and summon those and try to get yourself a legendary tome if you can. You can push past the 3,000 point barrier. The next 2 rewards here are always really nice. So if you happen to overshoot the 3,000 point mark, you know, consider whether or not it's worth investing a few more resources to try to get this legendary tome or this 5-star chicken. Legendary tomes are probably the biggest bottleneck for free-to-play players in the entire game. More than champions, more than gear, more than anything, we run out of legendary tomes and we never can fully book all of the legendary champions that we actually end up with. So whenever you have an opportunity to go after one, you want to consider it. Don't overspend, but don't ignore it. Okay, so now we're talking about pulling shards, and there is a second event that is going on in addition to the 2x Void Shard event, which is a targeted champion boost. Now, this targeted champion boost is for a new champion. This champion was introduced to the game recently. I'm going to pronounce it Yinsensa. That's what I'm going to say. I don't know. You can say what you want to say. Interesting name. So something about incense, right? Clearly, but Yinsensa, I think, is kind of cool. Okay, so another Void Legendary. I like this champion. I think she's really, first of all, she's cool looking. Kind of a different look there. But she's got some interesting potential here. Let's go ahead and look at her in the index. All right, so here she is in the index. The reason I always like to look at a champion in the index is to see what their base stats are going to be at level 60. So as you can see here, HP of 18.6k, attack of 1200, defense of 1134, speed of 110, some resistance and accuracy in the kit. As a support champion, these are pretty good stats. Not so tanky as to be a tank, but definitely sturdy. That's where I would put this champion in terms of their HP and defense. I would say fairly sturdy. In terms of attack, pretty good attack for a legendary support. She might do a little bit of damage. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But I think this is a good time to review this champion since she is a 10x champion for this 2x Void Shard event. So if we look at her A1, I really like this A1. It is an AoE that has a 70% chance of placing a decreased attack buff for 2 turns. AoE decrease attack is really nice in a lot of places. I'm thinking Hydra, Doom Tower, anywhere where wave content matters. In addition, the ally with the highest crit damage also joins to attack the enemy with the lowest HP. So you get a 1 champion ally attack here, and it's always going to be a hard-hitting champion. That's really cool. I like this A1. Potentially could bring a lot of damage depending on who you are pairing that champion with. Remember, the ally is joining with their default skill, so it could be another AoE champion. So you could actually get a double AoE here. Any champion who has an A1 AoE can be considered for a stun set, depending on what content you're going to use them in. But I like Insensa for her A1. I think it's an interesting A1, and I'm sure people are going to kind of theory craft cool ways to use it. The A2 places a Poison Cloud buff. Now, this is the first champion that I know of that places a Poison Cloud buff on your champions. The only other place I know where a Poison Cloud buff comes from is in Hydra. Let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong about that. Is there any other place where Poison Cloud comes into the game? Now, it also has an increased speed and a continuous heal buffs on the target ally for 2 turns, and then fills this target's turn meter by 50%. This is interesting because I don't know where else it is in the game. It's got a 50% turn meter fill, which I think by itself is pretty good. It is only a single target, though. It makes 1 champion immune to poison. Okay, I'm not sure that I love this skill, but it is interesting, and it may end up being important down the road. But let's go ahead and look at the A3, another AoE that has a 100% chance of placing decreased defense and weaken debuff on the same turns, and it ignores block debuffs buffs. This is a great debuff. This is really good for Arena. This is really good for wave content. Again, it's another AoE. You can think stun set. But it could also be useful basically against any boss, right? Decreased defense and weaken on every boss can be useful. And it ignores block debuffs. But that ignore block debuffs really makes me think about Arena. That this is an Arena skill. And when we get to the passive, we see that this is also an Arena skill. Increases this champion's accuracy by 10 for each buff on each enemy. Meaning you could get another 150 or so accuracy. You know, it really depends on how many enemies you have and how many buffs they have. But whenever an enemy receives a buff, their turn meter is decreased by 10%. So this is similar to Valkyrie's passive, and this introduces another cut champion into the game. So you have the potential to lose a speed race and yet still cut in on that go first team. So really good passive, really interesting passive. Obviously, arena-based, not as valuable as a skill in terms of PvE. Not as good a PvE skill. And then the aura is ally accuracy in all battles by 70, which is pretty good. It's not the highest we've seen in terms of accuracy. I believe that Mithrala gives 80, right? So Mithrala is a free Void legendary for everybody, and she gives a little bit more accuracy, but still a good accuracy aura for all battles. So I think Insensa is really cool. I would love to pull her during this 2x event. There are so many good Void legendaries out there that I still am looking for, and Insensa fits the bill. I also have Rio Bonespur and Krisk and Yumiko. There are a bunch out there that I still want. Sify. So, you know, if I don't get her, that's okay. But if I do get her because of the ×10, that would be fantastic as well. So it is just that extra targeted champion boost. You can see 10 times chance from Void Shards. As far as what I'm looking for on my account, really, it's just Void legendaries. I think there's only one Void epic worth noting that I still don't have, and that is Ostrox. I thought I had Ostrox on this account because I pulled him on several other accounts, but he's a pretty interesting Void epic, and I could use. However, since epic empowerment has been entered into the game, this is now an opportunity for me to look at my epics again and think about which ones are valuable and which ones should be empowered. So I like the idea of Godseeker, Aniri, and Inquisitor Shamail. So if I get any copies of them, I may be empowering some champions. There are a few other Void epics out there, but I don't know that there are that many that I really care too much about in terms of empowerment. But I think these two fit the bill. So that would be a mini win, I guess, pulling copies of those two champions. Okay, that is it. No need to delay any longer. I have cleared out my space. I've got 42 Void Shards. I'm going to do 2 single pulls and then 4 10 pulls. We want the points for the champion chase because I want to try to get that legendary tome. I do have plenty of fragment champions left in the portal. So if I don't hit my point total with just these shards, that's okay. I expect that the void shards will bring me about 3,000 points, maybe just under 3,000 points. Again, the event lasts for another 2 days and 12 hours. So I have 2 more days of clan boss chests. I may pull some more void shards. All my Doom Tower void shards are here. So, but I might get, 3 or 4 more void shards over the course of the weekend. So I could always pull those. I do have a void epic to summon as well, I think. So we'll be getting to that along the way. So I don't need all 4,000 points or whatever it is here just from shards. But I would love to get it from shards. I also haven't gotten a new void legendary in a while, so that would be great. Now my shards, if you've watched my recent shard videos, you know I've been pretty cold. I've been pretty cold for like 6 months. My last shard video, I think I pulled a legendary on my last sacred shard or something like that. So, Plarium likes to make me wait. Let's see if we can maybe start off a little bit hotter here. I don't need any of the void rares. I have 3 copies of Cold Heart. 2 are built, the 3rd is building. Oh, we got an epic right away. Golden Reaper, pretty cool epic. I do have one at level 50. I don't know if she's booked though, so maybe I'll throw that Golden Reaper in as a book. If she's not booked, I will probably empower Golden Reaper, because one of the things that you can empower as you go is speed, right? So Golden Reaper is a very fast champion, good for arena. The more speed you can get on her, the better. But okay, here we are, our 10 times pulls. Okay, let's go. Let's start with something good. I want to see gold. It's been so long since I've seen gold. All right, we got a Warcaster. So 2 epics already. Pretty good on the points. Cold Heart. Another Cold Heart is not... I don't need it, but not bad. Sky Touch Shaman. Interesting. Tree Shield Knot, by the way. If you pull Tree Shield Knot and you haven't built one, he's very good, especially for Sylvan Watchers, Faction Crypts. If you need a reviver, he's a very cheap reviver because he's a rare. And he actually revives 2 random allies. So it's better than a single target reviver for that faction. All right, so we're up to 3 epics, which is a little bit ahead of the curve. That's not too bad. We got 30 pulls left. Come on. Come on. Man, for some reason, I'm just feeling like today might be the day. But then again, they're going to blue tax me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Come on. Come on. And there it is. Another Tree Shield Knot, another Cold Heart, another Doom Screech. 2 more Doom Screeches, actually. So, I mean, as a 10 pull, this is not bad in terms of void rares. Gear Grinder and Bulwark are also pretty good. Doom Screech, Cold Heart, and Tree Shield Knot, so not too bad. But not what we were looking for. We're now on pace with the epics. Here's another epic. Beardell Failhammer. I overinvested in that guy. I don't really like him that much. Here's another one. Whisper. Now, she would be worth empowering. All right, 3 epics. That's pretty good. So pretty good in terms of points. I like that in terms of points. The Whisper could definitely empower another Whisper. She could hit even harder. She is a really hard-hitting epic, so that's pretty great. I also wouldn't mind a Genbo, actually. I would love to empower my Genbo, and I don't have any copies of Genbo. I don't think I've ever pulled any copies of Genbo, so I just have the 1. But that would actually be a really great epic for me to pull. All right. I think we are down to our last 10 pull here. So let's see some gold. Come on, let's see some gold. You can do it. Come on. Another epic. Skrank is a good... I can empower that Skrank. Bellower is a great champion. I've already got one. Another Bellower. Come on. Another Fellhound. Come on. Give me something. Give me something. Last... All right. Okay, so actually, not too bad with the epics that I pulled. This is another great 10 pull, actually, here. Bellower and Fellhound are probably the 2 best budget campaign farmers in the game. Bellower is about a 7-second clear, and Fellhound's about a 5-second clear. Actually, Bellower can do 6 seconds. Mine does about 6.5 seconds. Terex with the Restless was from the last fusion, Tree Shield Knot, that we already mentioned. But Skrank will be a champion that I will empower. Again, a very hard-hitting AoE HP burner, but also good direct damage dealer and a Void Affinity champion, so you don't have to worry about affinity, so I'll probably be empowering my Skrank. Let's see where we ended up in terms of the overall points. I really thought I was going to get gold today. I woke up thinking I was going to get gold today, so that's a little bit disappointing. But let's go ahead and see where we landed in the Champion Chase tournament. Okay, so we definitely overperformed on the epics. 4,210 points is really nice, and that puts us into that legendary tome reward, which is awesome. That's what I wanted. I was willing to pull, you know, additional champions anyway from my portal, but that's nice. I'll hold on to that energy for a little bit. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be, pulling my extra during this weekend, but I mean, there's always a champion chase coming up as well. I mean, sorry, not a champion chase. There's always a CVC coming up, not too far away. So I might hold her. I might hold her for that, depending on if I want to go for, you know, more rewards or see how the tournament does as the weekend progresses. Okay, so that is it for me. Let me know, did you have better luck than I did? Did you hit a Void Legendary? I'd love to hear those in the comments. Or if, like me, you pulled a whole bunch of Void shards and didn't really hit anything exciting, put that in the comments as well, and I will commiserate with you because we all go through it. I wish you luck if you haven't pulled your shards yet. That is it for me today. Thanks so much for hanging out. I have been Colred, and I will see you in another video soon.